Hi, I'm Ricardo, I'm 31 and we're trying to record a video. So the first time that I met a Vietnamese speaker was when I started studying in Australia. I met this girl from Hải Dương and we used to study the same major. So she was in my marketing class and we became good friends. So we did a lot of group works with people from different nationalities. And this girl from my phone, she used to be a businesswoman and she used to run an English center in iPhone, and she used to be a teacher, like an English teacher. So she thought that her English was perfect, but there in Australia, working with us and with people from different countries, she got frustrated because she could not understand different accents. I remember once in this group, we were working with one guy from Nepal and another guy from Nigeria, and she couldn't understand them. And she told me like, look, I don't understand these guys as well as you do, and I got really frustrated. That's what she told me. Later on, in university, always in Australia, I got to meet another guy from Vietnam, and he used to work with me, and I was supposed to train him for a position in the library, in the university. And I remember that at that time I got frustrated because this person, he wouldn't tell me if he didn't understand or not my instructions. So he would always say yes, even though he did not understand. And I remember once I got really angry at him and I told him, look, you have to tell me. If you do not understand what I'm saying or the instructions, you have to tell me. Then after graduating from university in Australia, I came to Vietnam. I didn't expect that. It was not my plan, but I came here in Hải Dương and I started to work as a teacher. And sometimes it can be hard here in Hải Dương because even though there are some English students, and you can find a lot of people studying English everywhere, it's not very easy to have a conversation with everyone. There are actually very few people that can speak English proficiently, and the rest, even though they study, they struggle a lot. For example, the general trend that I've seen, like people will say things like excuse me instead of excuse me. I realized here is that in Vietnam, or at least in Hải Dương, there's a lot of stress on learning the grammar, like English grammar, but there's not enough, in my opinion, studying of the pronunciation, reading and speaking. So you find students very good at spelling words, or maybe very good in grammar and exercises, but then when you try to have a conversation with them, it's really hard because they're not used to listen or talk. The common mistakes of English speakers in Vietnam are Vietnamese speakers have the tendency of not pronouncing the ending sounds, and this causes a little bit of, actually a lot of confusion, because it's not clear or it's not easy to understand what the speaker, what a Vietnamese speaker is talking about. Look at these words: like and lie, six and sick.
Bạn có thể vui lòng đọc cho mình một số từ này được không?
Này. Hai. Five.
More on ending sounds, there's a little bit of problems on word ending with S and the differences in the pronunciation for Vietnamese speakers. Normally, Vietnamese speakers, they adopt two strategy. It's either they do not pronounce, as we've seen before, the ending sounds at all, or they tend to put a S sound at the end of every word to try and counter this problem. Let's check out these words. I'm going to pronounce them. Word, words, fly, flies, good, goods. Can you tell the differences? Another example of common mistakes are phonemes, and it's probably derived from Vietlish, so the tendency to adapt English sounds to Vietnamese. Look at these words: far, late, and mad. There are 3 A's, but they all sound different. In far, it's a. In late, it's a, and in mad, it's a. More on Vietlish and its consequences. It's again more confusion on how to pronounce certain words. Check these words out. Can you try to pronounce them for me? We can do it together. Road, coat, together. How did you go? Did you pronounce them well? The next one is the stress on words. A lot of Vietnamese speakers are unsure, or they do not know when to put the stress when reading or pronouncing words. Check out these examples. And now we pronounce them together, putting the stress where it actually goes. Beautiful. Television and university.